I think mature iGaming company is able to hire outside the industry and is able to foster innovation, diversity mindset.
You're listening to 15-Minute Mastery, a show that empowers you with insights from leading iGaming experts to enhance your personal or business performance. The show is brought to you by the AI-powered data analytics platform Blask and supported by tech-driven affiliate and media company Already Media, Lala Stars, the leading casino partnership program, and Next.io, the world's iGaming community. Hey everyone, and welcome to 15-Minute Mastery. Today we're joined by Daria Kushnir. Daria is the CEO at Mega Fair Games. She brings a very unique perspective to the industry, having spent time working in the pharma industry. We're excited to explore her experience with hiring from the outside of the industry and why it's a huge opportunity for iGaming companies. Welcome, Daria.
Hi, nice being here.
Awesome. As you probably all know, this is one of my favorite topics recently, and I think it's getting a lot of traction. This is why Daria and her experience will help us to understand this even better. So let's start with the first question. What value do you see in hiring talent from the outside of iGaming industry?
Before answering this question, I would like to mention that I have experience not only in pharma, but in FMCG and IT. So I'm kind of unicorn, and a lot of industries behind me. That's why it was very interesting for me to speak about this topic and actually to write the article about the pharma and iGaming, because I find it a bit similar. So I really think that hiring from outside the industry can benefit any mature company. What I would like to mention that I think mature iGaming company is able to hire outside the industry and is able to foster innovation, diversity mindset, whatever, because it's quite obvious that mature company has time and resources, but time is also a resource. I mean, like human resources, to make the proper onboarding and to analyze the skill set of each employee. So it's like when we're talking about the startup or the very new company, of course, it's better to leverage in the industry experience.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with you on this one. And it's really good that, you've been through so many industries and you can bring so many different perspectives into one. So I think that a lot of people and companies, they treat, like a HR as the part of the branding exercise, right? So what kind of practices and benefits from other industries you worked in previously could be applied towards the approach to brand building and development?
I would say it's a combination of skills. By the way, pharma maybe 15 or maybe even more years ago started hiring from outside the industry. They started hiring for over-the-counter brands from FMCG companies. Why? Because pharma is mostly focused on relationship marketing. Like they are building relationships with key opinion leaders, and they are very strictly highly regulated. But the FMCG guys, for example, they are very good in consumer behavior analysis. They are good in brand building. They are good in these intangible brand assets, and they can feel it. That is quite difficult for pharma guys that have only, for example, pharma experience, because most of them have a pharma background, even the education. So at a certain point, they started hiring from FMCG companies, and this is how they brought this huge brand expertise to the company to boost not only this relationship marketing that is somehow akin to what we have in gaming, like affiliate management, for example. We also do build these relationships, and we also do build relationships with influencers. So in this sense, they are very good in it. And moreover, they have trainings 2 times a year. The product manager and the brand manager is responsible for training the sales team. Like in our case, it can be affiliate team. They spend 3 days talking about brand advantages, talking about how to answer very difficult questions, how to bring the new perspective for the brand and some innovative. So this is the must. They never skip it. Twice a year, they have this training. Besides the team building, that is quite a good thing, but it's a must. And some of them even have a test after. So this is quite a good thing that I think can be also used just to be sure that everybody in the company is on the same page. Everybody is aware about the new trends, industry insights, and all of this stuff. So this is one thing. And about the FMCG guys, that they are very good in brand and consumer. They can bring this feeling of why should we be focused on these brand building activities besides just relationship building. What is this intangible brand is about? So this is how we combine these skills, because actually maybe it will be the next question, but I started speaking about it and I think it's I should tell about it now. That, for example, IT guys, they are also quite difficult being too analytical. They are more performance oriented. They are less brand oriented. They don't understand these intangible things. Why should I bring and do something, spend money on something that I can touch, can feel, can see the performance, and the outcome may be somewhere in like several months or maybe even a year. So in this case, FMCG guys do understand it, because in that industry I think for more than 100 years, these companies have been building these brand visions and feelings. So I remember myself working for FMCG companies who had a big brand books. It's not like the brand book we think like it's not a design book. It's everything about the brand. So all the brand assets are there, like tangible, intangible, visual, communicational, whatever. So, and it's changing. And after a while, pharma started doing the same.
I absolutely love what you just mentioned, because I don't think I ever looked at it from this kind of perspective, like what industries could bring with it into iGaming, because every industry is so different, and every single industry has like a set of its own unique perspective and own like pieces of like a skill set. And you mentioned one thing like affiliation, and I'm probably one of the most like a distracted human being from the affiliate marketing perspective, because I keep thinking about everything from the affiliate point of view. Like, okay, how do I bring sales in like automotive industry from the affiliate point of view? So I think the iGaming probably scene is the affiliation. So, okay, so a very interesting question to you. So you mentioned so many different industries. And like you worked in so many industries, and this makes you so unique. So how do you blend like different industry skill set into like an iGaming to achieve the optimal results? So if you think and you take all these industries you worked in, like what is like the key skill set of each one of these industries and what they can bring into iGaming?
Well, I can say that it wasn't the easy path for me in iGaming, because different marketing tools, definitely different approaches to processes, to everything. But if we talk about the skills, I think that pharma is more about relationship building, what I've told you, that and team, like, I mean, team management, like affiliates or sales, whatever. So relationship building and team. So this is what is, by the way, FMCG for FMCG guys, it can be a bit difficult, because not I remember myself going to pharma after FMCG. Like, you have to spend so much time with people, with key opinion leaders, with other influencers on these events. By the way, pharma is full of events. So Event management, definitely. My key skill is definitely built there. Like, we had so many different events for VIP key opinion leaders, for regular conferences, whatever. So event management, relationship building, marketing, um, and maybe kind of creativity when you're limited by the regulation. So this is quite a strong skill set that can a pharma bring. FMCG, from my perspective, it's more about brand, these intangible things to understand. By the way, it's also about balanced marketing mix in terms of performance marketing and this brand building marketing. And by the way, like, for example, FMCG guys understand what is ATL and BTL things, and they can build this kind of balanced mix as well. For some companies who work on the legally on the market, they can also benefit from this kind of employees. So, so I've mentioned brand, media, not only digital media, but the regular one. It's also quite interesting to understand it. It has a bit different approach, different metrics, but it's very connected, and it gives you understanding why we're looking at the frequency, why we're looking at the audience, what is the affinity, and a lot of other stuff. So these guys really know how to do it. And if to talk about IT, IT has its, I don't know, maybe specific culture. They like when people speak their language. This very spooky language, I would say, using a lot of different technical words. Because when you come from any other industries, I remember myself, I've been a kind of weirdo because I didn't use half of the terms that were quite normal in IT, even though we sometimes spoke about the same things. Like, I remember me as a brand manager being responsible for profit and loss for the brand, for the product, but we never called it unit economics. So even though we had some digital tools, so in IT, like, I had to change my vocabulary totally. So in this case, they love when you speak their language, and I had to learn that. And yes, they are really result oriented. They are closer to the speed to iGaming, so they are they've got used to work in this fast speed environment. And yes, they are very performance oriented, very good in digital, very good in process setup. What is the weak point, for example, of pharma? Not because pharma has money, they are more marginal, and they sometimes have money for innovation. What I saw in FMCG, they are very slow in digitalization, just like of the very typical processes, and that's awful. They can do manually some things that should be done somehow digitally, like setting tasks, whatever, like not making this marketing mix in Excel. So this is what is still done sometimes. And of course, other things as well. A lot of them, like Microsoft Outlook, I don't know, so, and everything that is connected to it is not always user friendly, whatever. So yes, in this sense, IT guys are much more ahead in all the digital tools, knowing all the digital tools, setting the processes, and being able to work agile. So, because especially when the company is small, the strategy can be changed like in a week, and you have to start working differently. In the bigger companies, FMCG and even big pharma companies, it's very difficult. They are like big ships. Okay, we go this way. In several years, we are going to this digitalization. So one of my ex-colleagues from one of the industry, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, he texted me, you know what? I'm thinking about learning digital marketing. What do you think? Should I you should have been doing that 10 years ago. Why are you asking me? You should know it. You're in marketing. So they are still somewhere that he's asking, should I learn digital marketing? What would you advise to read about? Like, oh my God, they are still somewhere. That can be far. So this is about the pros and cons. Of course, I'm not saying that all of them are like this. It's pretty much depends on the company and the way everything is built. But these are the things to check on the interviews.
I absolutely love it. I think your perspective on looking at the key skills which the other industries are bringing into iGaming actually opened a whole world of new opportunities for me, because I was mostly looking at, people from fintech or IT or even like some industries like dating, which, as you mentioned, are highly regulated, very fast, very agile. And I think, I was never looking at pharma. I was never looking at FMCG. So I think you really created like a new perspective for me, and I hope for our audience as well. I absolutely enjoyed our conversation, Daria. Thank you so much for finding the time and sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you very much, Dmitry. It was nice being here.